Forward family, what's going on, man? It's Forward Fabio, man. Sad news had just popped up across my timeline. I didn't even realize or take note of heed to it or see it. Jerry Springer had passed away, man. Jerry Springer dead at 79. Springer helped revolutionize daytime talk TV. His family says he died peacefully in his home after battling cancer. 79 years old, passed away in Chicago, Illinois. So that's crazy, man. Jerry Springer dead at 79. It's crazy to me because, I mean, that's how I know I'm getting old. You know what I mean? RP Jerry Springer, but a lot of the household names we've known from my era or my time, the millennial generation, it's like they're passing away, you know. So it hits a certain chord with some of us in a certain age group, like, cause we grew up. I remember seeing Jerry Springer all the time, bro. Like, just scrolling through the TV before on my normal TV set before we had like cable, Dish Network, all that other stuff. Seeing Jerry Springer on all the time, but it was hilarious. You know what I mean? Outside of the things he talked about and focused on his show, him as a person and what he represented and how he kind of carried and conveyed himself was just top tier in my opinion. It's not like I met the man in person, but I mean, a lot of people who spoke about him in the industry had a lot of good things to say about him. Even everybody say he like a real one, you know what I mean? And like in the urban culture, people appreciate Jerry Springer, which is crazy. Like, man, Jerry Springer, he invited to the barbecue. He a real one. Everybody says stuff like that because, I mean, he was very inclusive. I don't think he really tried to separate himself really from what he was facing day to day on the TV show, as well as just separate himself from, you know, what people were dealing with and handling. You know, seemed like dude showed a lot of compassion. So RP Jerry Springer, man, we're gonna get into this Fox News reaction. Only about 2 minutes long, but what I wanted to do was do a reaction to Jerry Springer content from his channel next. So hopefully that don't get blocked or removed or copyrighted, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I plan on doing some Jerry Springer dedication / stuff
Springer
along those
Show
lines.
kind of remade Talk TV. The Midwest longtime talk show host Jerry Springer is dead at the age of 79. He hosted the Jerry Springer Show, kind of remade Talk TV.
Facts.
On the air for
I ain't gonna lie.
27 years.
He revolutionized Talk TV because his stuff wasn't really Talk TV. You know what I'm saying? It was, but it's like, let him go at it. It's not like he was sitting down like Oprah or Dr. Phil. He was standing up most of the time. A lot of times, Jerry just walking around because he knows that it could get physical very soon. He's staying away from that radius. He's walking in the crowd. He's asking the crowd people questions. I never really saw Jerry sit down, cross his legs, and talk to you like he was Maury. That's what Maury do, bro.
Before that, he was a news anchor in Cincinnati. He was also the mayor of Cincinnati in the late 70s.
What?
His family says he died peacefully from cancer.
Bro
at his
was
home
the
in
mayor?
Chicago. He was 79 years old, as I mentioned. I knew Jerry Springer when I was a young man. First came into the business at the age of 19. We worked together at Cincinnati, WLWT,
Wow.
an NBC affiliate.
Bro got a memory with him. That's real.
Jerry Springer had so many skills and talents. Okay, he comes out, it was a lawyer, he's from Brooklyn, New York, loved the Yankees, loved Bruce Springsteen, loved the Beatles. He'd go around the local bars in Cincinnati after he finished the 11 o'clock show and get on stage and sing Beatles songs. I mean, he was a man of the people.
Facts.
But one
That's
thing
what
he
I'm
did
saying.
that was very clever. He had a pulse on people in a way that very few people have. And he was hired as a news anchor, never done it before. And they said, you're going to be our guy. They were fourth in the market behind reruns of MASH on another station that no one watched. And he took them to number one.
Wow.
And he did it by, at the end of his broadcast, he'd do a 2-minute commentary every night on an issue of the day. And he concluded all those commentaries with the phrase, take care of yourself and each other.
Yeah, he always had that saying at the end of the Springer Show, take care of yourself and each other. Bro was raw. Like, it's funny because Jerry could be an asshole at times. Sometimes people be really telling Jerry, like, I think that was the entertainment side to it. He had to have that little pizzazz for the Jerry Springer Show purpose. A lot of people would be like, Jerry, I don't know what to do. He'd be cracking jokes on him too. He'd be like, all right, let's get serious. Let's get serious again. Like he would make you the butt of his joke sometimes. You know what I mean? But in all actuality, he really truly cared. Like he he wasn't a dickhead for no reason. Like he was just, I think that was the entertainment aspect.
Good night, and his signature would go across the screen. Jerry Springer was a legend.
Facts.
And in so many ways, some people thought he was controversial because of the way he carried on his talk show. I knew him as a guy who would argue about Social Security at the age of 19. He didn't want it. I was like, Jerry, I'm making $9 grand a year. I have to have something toward.
You know what's funny is like he has this story, and like this is kind of.
The end.
Let me just let him finish.
Jerry Springer, rest in peace, and for now, you take care of yourself and each other.
Indeed.
Bruh, I like how he just signed off right there. That's a real one right there. Bruh, look at the archives. Should we break into the Jerry Springer archives? Wow. But nah, to the reporter who just said the spiel right there, it's heartfelt because he got personal memories, right? He can sit there and with his co-host and his news anchor there, whatever they're called, and kind of share these memories, and she can listen and stuff like that. You can tell she's kind of like, is he gonna keep going? Like, but it seems like he has stories for days, but that's heartfelt, and I think that draws a certain light to this specific review. You know what I mean? That we just covered from Fox, because there's sentiment there. You know what I mean? He actually knew Jerry, and he could tell those personal kind of stories that kind of bring them things full circle. You know what I mean? I think that was a nice kind of commemoration in the video from them. So shout out to dude who just kind of said them kind words about Jerry Springer. But let's get into this right here. I kind of want to see some clips of him. This is a look back at his time with WLWT. Cincinnati, bruh. He was a news anchor and the mayor.
The Action 5 News team.
What am?
Jerry Springer and Norma Rashid.
Jerry started off his news career running and sometimes stumbling.
What we remember most about Elvis is not the fact that he died, but we are reminded about the fact of when he was young and when he was young. We'll always remember Elvis.
I was struggling. He said it when he was Elvis.
Norma?
Nobody ever said television was the most difficult job in the world, but sometimes Jerry tries to prove otherwise, especially in the early years. One of his first assignments was the 1984 Democratic Convention.
When you were a kid, did you ever, and you were watching the conventions, did you ever think there'd come a time when you would stand before the American people and say, Ohio cast its vote?
No.
What were you thinking about as a kid?
I was thinking that maybe you'd be doing it.
Jerry had found his calling, but it took some time and some desperate pleas before the people watched.
Good to see you. I care about people. I care about people who watch television. I care about people who watch Channel 5. I need this job.
Sometimes the local news ratings wars could get to a person, and everybody became unfriendly.
I want to say there's something that kind of like Screw Lucy sets you apart from certain people who do great things, bro. They're different. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a lot of folks who was so-called creative geniuses, did wonders, great things that were unimaginable, step outside the box in the norm, they was kind of cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? They was doing goofy things. The commonality, I would say, they was definitely not afraid to risk it. They definitely all had some type of like sense of humor and some animation to them. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the creative side. I think that's just that's the creativity. But that's the common thing between folks that really break barriers and boundaries, bruh. They ain't really, I don't think they're really thinking along the norm. Like, you can't if you do great things. You got to always be thinking outside the box.
In early 1989, we let Jerry go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look at
we
Jerry.
don't know if he ever saw the game.
Boy, Mac.
Who's going to win? Cincinnati. Well, perhaps it isn't quite all that serious.
Sports, but not knowing much about basketball meant paying off bets, at least one, like when I bet him Duke would beat UNLV in the 1991 finals. This bet he had to pay off on the air.
I mean, look here. I've got something for you. What's that? I hope it's a bit of nail polish. It'll match up nicely.
Bro looks so different back then.
I'm just happy that when I made the
town, he gets to prove it.
Went to a dance, looking for a romance. Saw Barbara and so I take a chance, Barbara.
That's the memory of Jerry Springer, man. I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna end it right there, man. Just RIP to Jerry Springer. This is crazy. I just came across this news on my timeline like just 20 minutes ago, if not 10, 15 minutes ago. You know what I mean? So you don't imagine folks like that. Like when Kobe passed, it was like, what? I didn't even think I'd see the day where Kobe died. You know what I mean? But like I said earlier, it ties back to certain individuals who are part of your childhood. You grew up seeing on TV, maybe listening to their music. You draw attachments, maybe just they're entertainers in your life. You hear about them passing, and it kind of strike a certain chord that make you reflect and think about your youth because you remember growing up with certain experiences and them being captured in those memories. So, R.P. Jerry Springer. Prayers out to the friends, the family, condolences, man. Yeah. If you out there, you know, you want to be great, you want to do great things, man, go do great things. Go do big things with the time you have left. Nobody knows how much time is left, but do great things, man. I always believe in what you can accomplish and just make the most of the time that you have is what I would say. So peace, love, go chase it, go get it. I hope everybody has a blessed day, man. We'll see y'all next time. R.I.P. Jerry Springer, man.